Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
Okay, so in Parshas Toldos, and there are a lot of very, very interesting ideas that go on in Parshas Toldos, but we'll have to talk about pick one, and that is Yitzchak Avinu's choice to give a bracha to bless Esav. Now, if you look in the Psukim, he says the Psukim is very interesting. He calls Esav his son. An interesting thing that I noticed, if you look in Perek Chav Zayin where this is talking about, how many times does it say the word Beni, Avi, Imo? How many times again and again, over and over and over and over again in this parak? I didn't count, but I started to count, but it was very, very high. Lamaise could be a reference to the kibbud avim of Esav. That's why Yitzchak thought he was zoichet to this bracha. But what's very interesting in the parsha here, when he calls him, he tells him, "V'ata sana keilecha tel yecha v'kashtecha." Take your sword, take your bow, v'tzei hasadeh, go out to the sadeh, v'tzuda litzayid, and go get me some game. Hunt for me some food. V'asei li matamim. Make me something delicious, kasher ahafti, like I love. Va'aviali, and you bring it to me, v'ochel, and I'll eat it, ba'avur tavarech nafshi, so that my soul will bless you b'terem amut, before I die. You think about it for a second. What is Yitzchak Avinu telling Esav? He's telling Esav, I need food. I love food. And if you want to get the bracha, you got to give me some really delicious food, and then I'll be able to give you this bracha. Now, this seems a little bit out of place, but you look at the words, that's what it sounds like. It says, go out and hunt, and bring me matamim, delicious food, kasher ahafti, like I love, and then I will eat it, va'ochela, and I'll eat it, so that I'll give you the bracha. If you look later on, when Yaakov actually brings the food, what does it say? The pasuk says, listen, when we'll get to the end, you'll see there's something very special over here. You'll see. Just hold on. Okay? It says that when Yaakov brings the food, and it says that he eats the food. 1 second. First, he needs to make sure that he really is Esav, right? And Yitzchak is properly convinced that this is Esav. And he says, and he comes over to him and he gives him a kiss, and he smells it, and he gives him a bracha. When Yitzchak is describing the food that he ate to Esav, when he's telling Esav what happens, what does he say? He said, who was the one who brought me this food before? Who brought me this? He says, Vayomer mi efo hu atzad sayid vayaveli. Who is the one who brought it? Va'ochal mikol b'terem tavo avarcheu. And I ate all of it before I gave him a bracha. Chazal learns from this word mikol that Yitzchak was zoiche to every type of good thing in the world. We say in benching, we said bakol, mikol, kol. What are those three words reference to? The three references are to the Avos. Avram Avinu, it says that Hashem blessed Avram Avinu bakol. Here by Yitzchak Avinu, it says he ate mikol. And by Yaakov Avinu, when he's talking to Esav, he says yesh li kol. And Chazal learned from there that Yitzchak, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov had everything. So when it says over here that Yitzchak Avinu ate, he had everything. This is a strange thing. If you think for a second, love, I always heard it from my Rebbe, love is a very powerful emotion. Do we really love food? Do you really love food? I love food. You really? The same emotion that you use for your new little baby, the same emotion you would use for your wife, your husband, that's the word you're using for your car, or for your dog, or for food. That's the emotion? Really? You're using the same exact thing? But yet here it says, Yitzchak said to Esav the food that I love. And I need that food that I love. If I don't have that food that I love, I can't give you a bracha. The brachas over here were so important that Rivka says to Yaakov, we have to risk everything in order to get these brachas. You have to dress yourself up as Esav. You got to pretend everything, every way you can, because Esav cannot have these brachas. If Esav gets these brachas, it's catastrophic. It's the end of the world. And the whole brachas are based on that he's got a good, juicy piece of meat. That's what it's based on. What's pshat? What's going on over here? So if you look at Rashi, Rashi says something also very interesting over here. When he tells Esav, he gives Esav instructions. What should he do? So Rashi says over here, in Pasuk Beis, he says, get your sword. Why? He says, sharpen it very well so that you do proper shechita. Make sure it's very, very sharp, that you do proper shechita. And he says, make sure to go out and get it in the field, out there, so that you're not stealing from anybody, so that you're only taking from Hefker, so you're not taking from everybody. It's kind of like, interesting instructions, or this is why does Rashi have to say this? What we don't understand here is something that is very, very deep, and that is that food has a tremendous power, tremendous power. There's tremendous potential for kedusha in food. Tremendous. Food is what connects your soul to your body. The reason why we are alive is because we have a soul in our body. Our soul and our body are connected. What's keeping that connected? Food. You want to hear an interesting pshat? On Shabbos, we have a neshama yisera. When the Gemara talks about the neshama yisera on Shabbos, how does Rashi explain what it is? Rashi says you have to loosen your belt. Wear a bigger pair of pants. Why? Because it means you can eat more. You have to. That's what the neshama yisera is, right? This tremendous spiritual thing called the neshama yisera, and it's to eat more food. No. The pshat is that we have actual neshama yisera, but you want that neshama to be in your goof. It needs to connect. It needs something to connect. So you need extra food in order to be able to connect that soul to your body. So that's why Rashi says you need to eat some more. The food is tremendously powerful. When Yitzchak Avinu, he said to Esav, the food that I ate, that I love, he was saying to Esav, I get such a spiritual high from eating real ruchniistic food. Because whose food did he eat? He ate his wife Rivka's food. His wife Rivka's food was so spiritual, was so high, that every time he ate from it, he felt infused with kedusha. He felt, wow, there's something amazing, something special over here. The food that he ate later on, that he actually got, that Yaakov served him, was actually made by Rivka. And that's what he says, I ate it and I had mikol. I was able to have that incredible ruchnius rush from eating that food. That's why he had bakol. Because there's a tremendous amount of kedusha that a tzedeket puts into the food when she serves it and eats it. I saw an amazing pshat. I heard this from my Rebbe, but I saw it in a sefer afterwards. It says in the Megillah that Haman HaRasha, an Amaleki. You know what an Amaleki is? An Amaleki is somebody with no kedusha at all. Haraya, Amalek has to be wiped out completely. There's no tzad even of kedusha at all. There's nothing in it. They have to be completely wiped out. The other nations of the world, we can work with them. Amalekim have nothing. Wipe them out. But yet the pasuk says by Haman that after he left the Suda with Achashverosh, the first Suda that he left alive, not the second Suda that he left hanging, yeah, quite literally. After he left that first Suda, it says that he left besimcha. The pasuk says that he was samach v'tov lev. The pasuk says that about a Rasha, that he had true simcha. How did he get that? Where did that come from? So I saw a pshat. It came from the food in that Suda. Who made the food in that Suda? Esther. When the food is made by a tzedeket, and she infuses that food with kedusha, even into Haman it went. And that also answers another question. If Amalek has to be completely wiped out, how could it be that the Gemara says that the Bnei Bonim of Haman learned Torah in Bnei Brak? The descendants of Haman became Gerim, and they learned Torah. Where did that kedusha come from? That's where it came from. It came from Esther. It came from the food that Esther put in, that he ate that food. There's tremendous koyach, and that's exactly what Yitzchak Avinu wanted. Yitzchak Avinu wanted that unbelievable elevation that can come when you put that spirituality into the food. How do you put that spirituality into the food? It's a different topic, but certainly with the proper kavanas, we're making food for Shabbos. This food, I have kavana when I'm making Seudah Shabbos. This food is for Seudah Shabbos, for a mitzvah. It's a kavana for that. It goes into the food. If I have proper kavanas when I'm doing it, goes into the food. Obviously, the Mos had even higher levels, but that's
it connects to last week.
Yeah, that's right. That's what the challah is. We're making the kedusha on the food. That's what it is, and it's going in and it's becoming part of our flesh.
So is this something more specific for women? Like
this also could be, and it happens to be in this case. It was.
And that's good.
Lamaisa, that's what fooled. We don't have enough time right now. We'll finish with this, but that's what fooled Yitzchak in the first place. The reason why Yitzchak asked Esav to do this in the first place is because he thought Esav was the one who was preparing the food, and because he thought Esav was the one preparing the food, he's like, Esav must be a tzaddik. He must be. I know he does all these funny things, but he's prepared.
He'll taste through the food,
No, in the past he ate food that he thought was from Esav. And because he thought that food was from Esav in the past, there was so much kedusha in it. And Esav made it, if that's what he thought. He must be that he's a tzaddik nistar, right? But how could a Russian make food like? It really wasn't true. It was never Esav who made the food. But that's why he wanted Esav to bring this food for him. Because he got this tremendous, and that's what he loved. That was the love. He didn't love the food. He loved the ruchnius that came out of the food. How that elevated him, and that's what gave him the ability to give a bracha.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.